There are moments in nature that take our breath away, and among them, few match the sheer wonder of a rainbow. Seven radiant colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. VIBGYOR, in short, arranged in perfect harmony. It's a dance of light, a whisper from the cosmos, a spectrum that tells us the universe is alive with color and meaning. We are always in wonder every time we see a rainbow, and this is nature visible to our eyes. But these colors, the energy, frequency, vibration, is always there in nature, and we are able to experience this wonder during some brief moments when drops of rain and sunlight are intercepted, creating this beauty in nature. In controlled setting, a prism and light can be used to generate the same seven colors, but nothing matches the beauty that exists in nature. In the universe, everything is energy, the light, color, vibration, and consciousness. And in the timeless science of Vedic astrology, this energy flows through both the sky above and the body within. Today we explore this beautiful cosmic symmetry, how the seven classic planets correspond to the seven colors of the rainbow, and how these map directly to the seven chakras within us. The seven planets, it's the celestial spectrum. The rashis of ancient India observed seven visible planetary forces, each representing a unique frequency of energy. These are the Sun, the Surya, the Moon or the Chandra, Mars or Mangal, Mercury or Buddha, Jupiter or Guru, Venus or Shukra, Saturn or Shani. Each of these planets align with the color in the VIBGYOR rainbow: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, forming a spectrum of consciousness. Each planet has its color and a chakra mapping. The seven planets, the seven colors, and the seven chakras are a form of macrocosm that mirrors the microcosm that exists inside every one of us. Saturn or Shani with red is the Muladhara or the root chakra, grounding, survival, discipline. Saturn governs karma, the structure, and your connection to the earth. Next comes Mars or Mangal with the orange color. It is the Swadhisthana sacral chakra. It's the passion, drive, and sexuality. Mars brings energy, courage, and creative fire. Jupiter or the Guru in yellow is the Manipura or the solar plexus chakra. It's about power, expansion, confidence. Jupiter rules wisdom, growth, and higher purpose. Venus or Shukra is green, the Anahata or the heart chakra. It's all about love, harmony, relationships. Venus connects us to the beauty, affection, and emotional balance. Mercury or Buddha is blue, Vishuddha or the throat chakra. It's all about communication, intellect, expression. Mercury governs speech, logic, and learning. Next comes the moon or the Chandra in indigo or the Ajna, the third eye chakra. It's about intuition, mind, emotions. The moon controls mental rhythm, emotional tides, and inner vision. And Sun, the Surya, is violet and white. It's the Sahasrara or the crown chakra, soul, light, and the divine consciousness. The Sun represents the Atman itself, your spiritual core, and the cosmic light. It's a cosmic circuit connection from the earth to the ether. From the sky to the soul, every time a soul takes birth on earth, this very rainbow, this cosmic palette of multidimensional frequencies begins its descent. At the exact moment you take your first breath, the nakshatras, planets in their sequence are locked in place in the birth chart, and the planet rising on the eastern horizon becomes your Lagna or your ascendant, the starting point of your personal cosmic journey. The Lagna is the portal of the self, Your Lagna is the first house in the Vedic chart, the house of the self, body, purpose, and presence. It determines the placement of all 12 houses. It gives the chart its structure and orientation. Most importantly, it is ruled by one of the seven classical planets, the same celestial beings that mirror the seven colors of the rainbow. Just as each color carries a unique frequency, each planet carries a distinct vibration, and the one that rules your Lagna becomes your Lagnesh, your life's guiding force. As an example, in this chart, it's the Capricorn Lagna, ruled by the Saturn or the Shani. Let's take an example. Imagine a child born when Capricorn Makara Rashi is rising in the east. Capricorn becomes the first house or the Lagna. The ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn, known as Shani. Therefore, Saturn becomes the Lagna Lord, the guardian of the chart. Even if Saturn is placed in another house, say the 7th or the 10th or the 2nd, it remains your Lagnesh. Its placement, the strength and the aspects will deeply influence your health, identity, karma, and the spiritual path. A personal rainbow. You're born from the sky. So the next time you see a rainbow in the sky, remember those same seven colors or the multidimensional frequencies are not just beauty in the clouds. They are the same seven planetary vibrations that descend at birth to shape your journey. And the moment you breathe in life, the universe breathes into you. From the colors of the sky to the planets of the cosmos, your Lagna is your celestial beginning, and your Lagna Lord is your karmic guide. Today we can pinpoint any location on Earth with stunning accuracy, whether it's the bustling streets of New York, a temple in Varanasi, or the exact place of birth for anyone. It all begins with a simple yet powerful system, the grid of latitude and longitude. So what are latitude and longitude? Imagine Earth wrapped in an invisible net of lines, both horizontal and vertical, intersecting across the globe. These lines help us assign coordinates to every location on the planet. The latitudes, these are horizontal lines that run east to west but measure north to south from the equator, which is 0 degrees latitude. Values range from 0 to 90 degrees north and then 0 to 90 degrees south. They tell us how far north or how far south a place is from the equator itself. For example, Delhi lies at about 28 degrees north latitude, while Sydney lies near 34 degrees south latitude. The longitude, these are vertical lines that run from pole to pole, the North Pole to the South Pole, but measure east to west from the prime meridian, which is the 0 degree longitude, which passes through Greenwich in England. Values grow from 0 degrees to 180 degrees east and 0 degrees to 180 degrees west. They tell us how far east or west a place is from the prime meridian. For example, Tokyo is at 139 degrees east longitude, while San Francisco is at 122 degrees west longitude. Together, they create a coordinate. By combining latitude and longitude, we can create a precise coordinate, a unique address for any location on Earth. For example, 28 degrees north, 77 degrees east will point us to Delhi in India, a specific dot on the world map, determined with mathematical elegance. Why it matters in Vedic astrology about navigation. In astrology, these coordinates are used to cast the birth chart, aligning the planets, stars, and ascendants to the exact time and place of birth. The latitude affects the rising sign or Lagna at the time of birth. The longitude affects the local time and the time zone, critical for accurate calculations. In navigation, aviation, space missions, and even everyday GPS apps, latitude and longitude keep the modern world connected, mapped, and moving. So latitude and longitude together are designed to help us locate ourselves on Earth and sometimes even in the stars. Every birth chart that is prepared, every time we record, every planetary position we calculate, starts with one timeless reference point on Earth, known as the Greenwich Mean Time. It's the prime meridian, the global zero point for longitude, and the heartbeat of universal timekeeping. The Royal Observatory in Greenwich is the time's home base. Located in Greenwich, England, the Royal Observatory was established in the 17th century by the British Crown to solve the great mystery of longitude at sea. But little did the world know it would also become the birthplace of global timekeeping. The longitude is all 0 degrees, 000, the starting point of the prime meridian. The latitude is at 51 degrees, 28 and 38 north, a precise spot just north of the equator. Together, these coordinates define the point from which Greenwich Mean Time is calculated, the universal standard used across astrology, astronomy, navigation, and the international clocks. The GMT in the birth chart preparation, the Vedic astrology, we use GMT as the base to calculate the exact planetary positions at the moment of birth, and then adjust it based on the local time zone, which is latitude and longitude. GMT is another anchor form from which your Lagna ascendant is determined. Without it, the entire birth chart would be inaccurate. It synchronizes the soul's entry into celestial time. It's how the universe's timing and the individual journey intersect. There is a hidden numerical harmony, which is the number 9. But here's a little known gem. Add the digits of the latitude, which is 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8 equal to 27, and then 2 plus 7 gives us 9. The sacred number 9 again, symbol of completion, cosmic order, and wholeness, subtly encoded in the very coordinates of time's origin. In Vedic numerology and spiritual traditions, 9 represents the end of a cycle and the bridge to the infinite, just as GMT represents the starting point of all time zones, grounding the infinite sky into measured moments. The international dateline is an invisible but powerful boundary that literally shifts the day of the calendar depending on which side of it you stand. What is the international dateline? It's an imaginary line that runs roughly along the 180 degrees longitude, halfway around the world from the prime meridian of Greenwich, England, located mostly across the Pacific Ocean. It zigzags slightly to avoid splitting countries or island groups. It serves one major purpose: to reset the date. Crossing it from west to east, you go back a day. Crossing from east to west, and you move forward a day. The time may remain the same, but the date itself flips. So why does it exist? As the Earth rotates, time zones shift from one hour to the next. But since our planet is a sphere, we need a point where the calendar rolls over, a starting line for dates. Without the date line, essentially global timekeeping would be all out of sync. You could fly from one country to another and arrive before you left, creating chaos in aviation, communication, and commerce. The ideal keeps global time orderly, coordinated, and logical, even if it sometimes feels like time travel. Let's say it's Monday just before midnight in Samoa Islands, located just west of the ideal. If you hop on a short flight across the line to Hawaii, it suddenly becomes Sunday night. You have gained a day. This makes ideal a unique location where two different days exist at once, just a few miles apart. Add the digits of the ideal's coordinates. 1 plus 8 plus 0 again gives us the magical 9. As we have walked in other videos, how the number 9 in Vedic and spiritual numerology represents completion, fulfillment, and transcendence, the final step before rebirth, the last digit before the cycle restarts, and how perfect that the international dateline, the very place where one day ends and another begins, resonates with this number. Ideal is a man-made line, and it governs how we experience tomorrow and yesterday, a beautiful paradox of time in motion. At the precise moment we take our first breath, the universe imprints its signature on us, a cosmic snapshot reflecting our soul's journey through the stars. On April 18, 2025, at 6:29 a.m. in Palo Alto, California, a new soul entered the earth plane, and the sky above whispered its unique blueprint into this human being. In Vedic astrology, this moment becomes the foundation for a Janma Kundali, a birth chart meticulously calculated using planetary positions, zodiac signs, nakshatras, and house placements. Before the chart, the raw celestial data would look something like this, and the astrology software typically takes the entire 360 degrees and divides the planet placements into 12 rashis of 30 degrees each. This will give us the planetary placements in specific rashis with exact degrees within each sign and corresponding nakshatra padas and the association of nakshatras for the dasha calculations. These numbers and names might look technical, but together they tell a story, the story of a cosmic arrangement at the moment of our birth. In the birth chart that an astrology software will provide based on the previous table for the native born on April 18, 2025 at 6:29 a.m. in Palo Alto, California, USA, let's walk through a few key highlights from this native's chart. The ascendant Lagna is in Mesha Rashi at 2.867 degrees, ruled by Mars. The Sun also sits in Mesha, conjoined with Lagna, and a simple promise and prediction would state a strong solar energy and leadership traits. The Moon is in Dhanu, Sagittarius, at 5.422 degrees. Mars is in Karka, Cancer in the 4th house. Mercury, Venus, Saturn, and Rahu are all clustered in Meena, Pisces in the 12th house. Ketu is in Kanya, Virgo, and Ketu will always be directly opposite to Rahu. In this case, it's the 6th house. The placements are some promises that exist in a birth chart that speaks of purpose, challenge, strength, and inner calling. The astrology softwares that are readily available today for free take these planetary positions that are calculated with the local coordinates of birth, time, place, that is based on Greenwich Mean Time. The birth chart takes shape with the 12 houses, the 9 planets, and the 27 nakshatras forming the promises from cosmos and forms our astrological fingerprint. The birth chart is not just data, it is sacred soul geometry. And from this celestial code, we decode our purpose, patterns, and potential, a dance choreographed by the universe at the moment we are born at the same place, but about 12 hours later. The birth chart prepared for this native born on April 18th, 2025 at 6:29 p.m. or 18:29 p.m. based on 24-hour basis in Palo Alto, California, USA. We'll have the rashis rotating over to different houses. Now we see the Lagna ascendant is Kanya or Virgo Rashi, and hence it is placed in the first house. Notice that all the planets are still located in the same rashis, except the rashis have moved to different houses. Ketu was placed in Kanya or Virgo, and it's still present there, but now it's in the first house. Sun is still in Aries, but now it's in the 8th house. Moon was in Sagittarius Rashi, and it's still there, but now it's in the 4th house. Saturn, Mercury, Rahu, Venus are still in the Meena or Pisces Rashi, but now it's the 7th house. Jupiter was in Taurus and it's still there, but now it's the 9th house. Mars was located in Karka or Cancer Rashi and it's still there, but now it's the 11th house. This is how each one of us come with a unique fingerprint at the time that we are born. Make a guess based on sun's placement in the chart. For a person born during daytime, where the day and night are of equal duration, like 12 hours, birth between sunrise and sunset will have sun located in houses 8th to the 12th house. Birth around sunrise time will have the sun placement in the first house. Births after sunset at night will have sun placement located in the 2nd to the 6th house. of the previous videos, the native born on April 18th, 2025 at 6:29 p.m. in Palo Alto, California, USA. The Lagna or ascendant is Kanya or Virgo rashi, and hence it is placed in the first house. This was the rising sign in the eastern horizon at the time of birth. Ketu is placed in Kanya Virgo rashi in the first house. Sun in Aries sign and in the 8th house. Moon in Sagittarius rashi and in the 4th house. Saturn, Mercury, Rahu, Venus are all in the Meena rashi or the Pisces rashi and in the 7th house. Jupiter in Taurus or Rishabh rashi and in the 9th house. Mars in Karka or Cancer rashi and in the 11th house. We saw in previous videos how the rashis and planets got assigned their houses. In Vedic astrology, there is a concept of planet aspects or Groh Drishti that has an impact and influence on more houses than just where the planets are placed in the birth chart. Let us explore this concept further in this video. In Vedic astrology, planets are not just static points in the birth chart. They are dynamic, living forces, and one of the most powerful ways they interact is through their drishti or aspect, also their gaze. Graha Drishti is the way each planet casts its influence across the chart, shaping relationships, challenges, support systems, and karmic triggers in the life. What is planetary aspect and what is Graha Drishti? An aspect is the house or direction that a planet looks at from where it is placed. This site isn't physical, it's totally energetic, frequency oriented, and vibrational in nature, and carries a profound meaning. When a planet aspects another house or planet, it influences it either positively, challengingly, or karmically, depending on the nature of the planet or the graha. You can see in the table that some planets have been assigned multidimensional aspect or drishti values. Let's understand how this has been decided by the rishis. In previous videos, how Bode's law confirms placement of planets in orbits around the sun with specific astronomical unit values, also called as AU values, to place the Navagrahas or the 9 planets in Vedic astrology, the 7 physical planets and the 2 shadow planets, Rahu and Ketu, in specific orbits around the sun. The Vedic rishis also classified these planets as inner and outer planets. Mercury, Venus, Moon, Ketu were considered inner planets, and Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu are considered outer planets. This placement of the planets was done by the rishis centuries ago and communicated through Vedic texts. The 7th house aspect, which is the basic drishti. Let's begin with the fundamental rule. All planets in Vedic astrology aspect the 7th house from where they are placed, meaning they look directly opposite in the chart. In this example, we'll look at placement of all the planets located in the 7th house. Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus all cast their single full aspect onto the 7th house. In this case, since the planets are located in the 7th house, they cast their aspect or drishti on the first house of the Vedic chart. This basic drishti or aspect reflects balance, polarity, and how energies seek completion through the other. Since the 7th house from where the planet is placed completes the house, it would show some characteristics of completion with the attributes specific to how that planet behaves. For example, if the moon is in the 7th house, it aspects the first house. The attributes brought by moon to the 7th house in terms of emotions conveyed through family, spouse, partnerships. The first house, in turn, which is directly opposite at the 7th aspect, would reflect opposite or completion attributes that reflect emotions related to the self, caring and worrying about one's own self and transformation, which is the physical self itself, instead of your spouse and the family and the partnerships. And we also have Sun, Venus, Mercury that are also placed in the 7th house in this particular example, and they are all aspecting the first house. Then we have the special aspects of the other five planets: Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. These have additional aspects revealing their multidimensional nature and deeper karmic intent. Mars or Mangal aspects the 4th, 7th, and the 8th houses from its position. In this example, when Mars is placed in the 7th house, it will aspect the 10th house, 1st house, and the 2nd house. Symbolizes desire, aggression, courage, and inner fire. Mars aspects can bring tension, but also breakthrough and action that is needed in life. Aspects the 3rd, 7th, and the 10th houses from where it is placed. In this example, where Saturn is placed in the 7th house, it will aspect or cast the Drishti on the 9th house, 1st house, and the 4th house. Saturn brings discipline, also delays, responsibility, and karmic maturity. Saturn's Drishti makes you work hard, but also leads to solid growth. Aspects the 5th, 7th, and the 9th houses. In this specific example, where Jupiter is placed in the 7th house, it will aspect or cast the Drishti on 11th house, 1st house, and the 3rd house. Jupiter represents wisdom, guidance, and blessings. Jupiter's gaze also uplifts, teaches, and protects you. Rahu and Ketu, they also have the shadow aspects, and these are shadow nodes or shadow planets, though their influence is very subtle and very karmic. Rahu aspects the 5th, 7th, 9th, and the 12th houses. Ketu aspects the 5th, 7th, 9th, and 12th houses, exactly mirroring Rahu, and directly opposite houses to wherever Rahu gets placed or aspects and casts the Drishti. So Rahu and Ketu are always opposite, be it in their placement or be it in their aspects as well. Rahu and Ketu aspects are more psychological and spiritual in nature, representing what we chase, which is represented by Rahu, and what we detach ourselves from, which is represented by Ketu. So why Graha Drishti or planet aspect matter? Understanding the planetary aspects is like understanding how conversations happen across your chart. Who's influencing whom? Where is the tension being created or resolved? Which areas of life are calling for effort, grace, or attention? Aspects reveal connections between the houses, between your inner world and the outer reality, which is your karma and the potential. Graha Drishti isn't just geometry, it's energy in motion. And when you understand how each planet sees and influences your chart, you begin to see how universe shaped your life before you even took your first breath. At the moment we take our first breath, the universe creates a blueprint of the soul, a celestial map known as the natal chart or the Janma Kundali. This chart shows the fixed position of the planets, their placements, their aspects, and their influence on our karma, personality, strengths, and challenges. But life doesn't stand still, and neither do the planets. So the natal chart is what you carry within. The birth chart is the karmic foundation. It reflects what you are here to experience and how you are designed to go through it. The planetary placements show the areas of strength, the fear, the passion, and the purpose. Planetary aspects of Drishti show how planets influence each other and how different life areas are connected. It tells us who we are becoming through the roles we have been assigned. Think of it as the script of your soul's journey, written by the stars and refined over multiple lifetimes. And the planetary transits or the gochars, that is when the life happens. But then these transits known as gochars are the current moments of the planets in real time across the sky. The transits interact with the birth chart. They trigger, activate, or challenge different areas of life based on where the planets are today compared to where they were at your birth. The transits are representing the timing of events, the when, the how, and also the external stimulus. A powerful Jupiter transit might bring opportunities. A Saturn transit might bring lessons and endurance. A Rahu Ketu transit can bring sudden changes or karmic redirection. The transits or gochar of planets have a certain placement relative to the birth chart, and these specific placements and relative positions are checked with conjunction, semi-sextile, semi-square, sextile, quintile, square, trine, sesquiquadrate, biquintile, and quinarx or injunct opposition when the predictions need to be performed at any specific times of the native. So it's like the blueprint and the timing is the overall life story. The natal chart shows what you're born with. Your transits show how and when you will live it out. The chart is the entire story or your complete novel. The transits are the different chapters. The chart is your inner river, the path you must flow through. The transits are the winds and the waves, the conditions of the journey itself. So why this knowledge really matters? When we understand both the natal placements in the birth chart and the planetary transits, we stop resisting life and start moving with it, orchestrating with it. We know when to act, when to reflect and understand, when to embrace growth, and when to practice patience, when a challenge is karmic, and when an opportunity is cosmic. The planets don't control us, they reflect us, and through their placement and moment, they tell us life is not random, it is rhythmic, intelligent, and deeply purposeful.